All right, so now we come to the performance testing of the Bodega cooler. So we actually have it unplugged, and we've been home for a day, and this has not been in use. So what we've done is we've loaded it up with water. So we are going to measure temperature of one of the water in the middle on each side, and then we're gonna start it and see how each side does and see how accurate it is, and hopefully let you know if this is a good buy. So we're going to choose one in the middle. So let's choose this bottle here. We're going to go ahead and put an X on it so we know which side it's from. Same thing with this side. Let's find one. Let's do this one. Same thing. And let's do freezer, just so we know which side it's from. All right, let's go ahead and open her up. And since these bottles have been in the same spot, well, I guess for a control, I will temperature both of them. We are about a 68 ambient temperature. So let's go ahead and temperature one bottle. So about 61.7, 61.5. And then this bottle is 62.8. So if you guys missed out, we've got our freezer side here, which has the compressor and everything. So there's not as much that can fit on this side. And we've got the fridge side over there. So let's go ahead and stick that in. And I'm going to stick it up kind of high on the freezer side, just because I don't want to get it too far down right next to the compressors system there. So then this guy, we're going to put it in this middle position there. So let's close it up. And it is 8:51 p.m. So we're going to come back and check it. And I like to use the app because the app is really fun, and that's one of the reasons why I agreed to review this, just to check it out. So we've got the left side at 62 degrees, the right at 63. So let's go ahead and turn this on so that we can start our test. So on the left side, the fridge side, we're going to want the fridge side at, let's do 38 degrees. And then the freezer side, let's do 24 degrees. And this isn't necessarily to see if I can freeze it or not. This is just, I want to check the accuracy between these sides, the freezer and the refrigerator side. So we've got eco mode not on, we've just got it on normal mode. So we'll come back in the morning and see what happens with those two bottles, and then we'll see how long it takes to equalize. All right, so we are now at 7 a.m. and we're going to check some temperatures. So the freezer side is about 35.8, and our freezer side says it's 31 degrees, but obviously it takes some time to get down to temperature. And before you guys go camping, you will want to pre-cool all of the items. Coolers, freezers, things like that have to work a lot harder to cool things down if they are in fact warm, as these were room temperature going into it. So here's the fridge side, which was a little warmer. So this is at 40 degrees, 39. And we have the fridge set at 38 and 25. So let's give it some more time. Obviously all these waters were room temperature, so it's done a fine job getting them down to temperature. So we're going to see if we can actually get them to the exact temperature. And that's a lot of work for this cooler to do overnight. So I'm actually surprised that they are as well, doing as well as they are. So what we're going to do is we're going to get them down to temperature, and then we're going to go ahead, turn the cooler off, and see how well it retains. Okay, so we have had this out here for 24 hours. The ambient temperature in the garage is 75.4, so it's heated up. So it looks like we have 42 degrees in the refrigerator side, 27 on the freezer side, and this has fluctuated. I think I saw this go down to all the way to 22. And remember, our settings is 38 and 25. So let's open her up and see what we're at. So that is about 26.8 38 after the 24-hour session. And then the refrigerator section. So that's 36.5. So that is a little cooler than the 38, but the freezer is a little warmer. So it's actually not too bad. Obviously, it's not going to just be exact because there's one compressor in this system, but I think it's done pretty well. So now what we're going to do, obviously sometime between 12 and 24 hours, it cooled the bottles down. So now we're going to turn it off and see how long they will hold temperature. So we'll come back in 12 hours and see the temperatures in this cooler, see how well it retains the coolness. Okay, so we are 12 hours into the cooler being off. Ambient temperature is about 70.5 in the garage now. So let's check it out. Let's pull these out quick. Get that closed. So the freezer and the fridge. So we've got the freezer and the fridge. So let's check the freezer side. So the freezer side, we've got 41.4. And the fridge side, we've got 44. So it looks like the insulation on the freezer side, that's warming up quicker than the fridge side. So we're going to go ahead, give this another 12 hours or so and see how it does. All right, so we are 24 hours after turning this cooler off. So let's see our retention. So it is about 73 degrees. So we are about 52.3 degrees in the freezer. It is still cold. These ones, a little lower, are a bit colder. I can mix these up now because this is going to be the end of the test. Because I feel like being 53 degrees after 24 hours is pretty decent. And the fridge side is interesting. The fridge side is actually a bit cooler, but I wonder if that's because this was a little further down. So for the next test, we're going to go ahead and do some infrared images of the cooling on this. All right, so we have the infrared camera out. We're going to take a peek at where the coolant lines are. So as you can see on the freezer side, we don't have any coolant lines here, but we do have some, ooh, that's getting frosty already. Some frosty lines there. Let's look at the bottom. So we do have them on this side. Then we have one around the top cap. The compressor's down in here, so I could see how maybe they couldn't fit a coolant line in there. So then same thing with this side. We do have some nice coolant lines in there. And this has been on for maybe, I don't know, on the freezer side, 5 minutes. So this thing cools down fast. So now let's look on the refrigerated side. So you can see we've got coolant lines. And I just actually did turn the fridge side. I raised the temperature quite a bit, so they're actually shutting off right now. So you can see there's quite a few coolant lines on the fridge side. We'll say the fridge side almost looks to have better coolant lines than the freezer side. So, and then there's our wall. And we can see they are separated. So you can see from the loop there, and then the loop on that side. And let's see. Same thing with that. So there is separation, so that's good. So we do have true dual zone. All right, great job. You passed the test. These coolant lines look very good. There's a lot of them, and they are separated. All right, guys, so that is it. We looked at the Bodega cooler, and we tested everything, and we found out that we need one of these in our lives. I couldn't believe it. I've seen them for a long time, and I've really thought, gosh, I don't know if I would ever use one, but we found out that we could use one every time we've gone camping this year. We've used it. We took it to Glacier for, I think it was a 19-day trip up through Kalispell and through, we had service and power some of that time, but we were boondocking for 12 days of that. And this thing came in handy a lot of the time. So you can see it's got some wear scars and stuff in it still, but this thing really worked well, and I'm very happy with the performance of it. And like I said, it's they did a good job putting it together. It could use a little bit, I don't know, these just feel a little bit chintzy, these handles. But other than that, it's been a great cooler for us. I've really enjoyed it, and it's really done well. And it pairs up nicely with our Lion Energy box. We used this box with it basically the whole time, and it worked wonders. We did put it on eco mode, I will say that, and that did help us save energy, because boondocking with that and only charging it when we had the generator on or when we were plugged into solar and I ran the inverter, we did that. And I did pull it in, I think I put it in the bathroom maybe one time for a little, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes when it was almost dead. So anyways, great job, guys. You did a good job on the cooler, and we're just messing around with it still. And we do have, I'm trying to get to a low voltage cutoff on this box to see where it cuts off first, but we'll save that for another video. If you do want to pick up one of these, we'll have a link in the description for the Bodega cooler or for the Lion Energy box. Use code Savvy Campers at Lion Energy, get 15% off. And awesome job, guys. Thanks for sending this out. And we'll see you guys next time.